it live from Random Secret Studios in Philadelphia, the Delaware Valley, and up and down the East Coast.
I'm the capo. He's the prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod.
The pod.
Adam, Devin, welcome back to Sons of Ben, the pod. It is episode, the Charles Barkley edition, number 34. The one and only 34
Millwood.
in this town. Don't Kevin Millwood, don't no. Cliff Lee me. It is
Cliff Lee was 33, bruh.
34.
Unless
look it
you
up.
do. No. He came back when he came back. Remember when he did the 4-5 thing? He came back as a 33 because 34 was already for Hallidays. So.
And that's why it's the Charles Barkley Chronicles.
Fair enough.
So this week's guest is long overdue. It's someone we were going to have on in maybe April, but then, something happened. I can't remember, but, we got sidelined by one thing or the other.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert rubbed his hands all over our microphones. So
the idiot king.
Our special guest is Gianni Zapata, the host of Duke by the River, and what I'm going to say is a must-follow Instagram. So, Gianni, welcome to Sons of Ben the Pod.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It is, like you said, it is long overdue. I've been waiting for this as a proud Sons of Ben member myself. Thank you so much for having me on, guys. Let's have fun. It's already started off really good with Devin with the Columbia jersey. I'm feeling at home. I'm missing my beer. I know Adam's got the nice Peronis on deck. I could crush a couple myself right now, but thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, I know you're a little out of the age range for this, but you can't forget that he's like the union's number one TikTok producer over here.
Wait, he plays TikTok what? Huh? What's this TikTok? Oh, that's awesome.
So if you
we need to get you on TikTok.
If you consume an entire pack of Tic Tacs, it's actually really bad for you. It can lead to some stomach issues, so don't do that.
Listen, I'm still convinced the Chinese government sent the coronavirus just to get more TikTok subscribers. So I'm staying off the TikTok for a while,
It worked. The entire globe is on that thing, including legit world leaders.
Yeah. And illegit world leaders.
I'm actually surprised. We actually have a good amount of Union fans. I've definitely tried my best to do as many Union TikToks as possible. Obviously, I do the whole all 5 Philly sports on there. But today, we talked about it before the air. I did an MLS TikTok for the Red Bull, where I guess we're going to talk about it in a little bit about the big news with the Red Bull. It actually blew up. So we're getting MLS fans on there. Union fans, definitely head on over, just get a couple laughs. Definitely support and help grow the MLS community on TikTok for sure.
Yeah,
we'll do some dances, Matt, together.
Oh yeah. Before we talk about the Red Bull,
the day I see Matt in a TikTok, that is the day. That is the day.
It's right after we watch the grand final of the Fusion. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to hop on a TikTok directly after that. And then we'll find him some skinny jeans. It's going to be a good day. I'm excited.
So I'll be dancing down Broad Street in skinny jeans after the Fusion win the whatever cup?
Yes.
Yes, and it's really a trophy, even though they call it a cup. I actually have a gripe with the idea of calling things cups when they're not actual cups that you win. I'm just saying, it's a thought I have. We'll talk about it later.
Speaking of cups, let's just not forget our friends, Beer the Pod, Yards, 2SP, Little Larimer. We want to make sure everybody knows and supports them because they support us, and we've had some 2SP beers at the stadium for the Sons of Quarantine. Yards has come out with some new ones, including your favorite flyer, Big Hazy, buddy. Have you had that yet?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a nice little Ipia.
I definitely
that
need
will
to try
hit you in the
that
mouth that will hit you in the mouth like he hits you in the mouth. So, but yeah. So don't forget the friends of the pod, the beers of the pod. We'll go through some housekeeping real quick. Sons of Ben News. Adam, Devin, Johnny, you know this. One of our members actually wrote a book, and it doesn't have pictures in it. So she's going to be doing a signing on Saturday the 12th at the Larimer. So it's Katie Fellinger. Probably. Oh, Johnny's got the book. Look at that. Did you get it autographed yet?
No, I'm waiting. Katie, holler at me. I need this autographed. This is my first book since high school, so I'm looking forward to getting through it, and I definitely need that signature.
Saturday the 12th.
That's my problem.
Saturday the 12th at the Larimer, man. Bring it down. She'll sign it for you.
Let's do it.
I think in about 40 minutes we're going to have, about an hour, Drunken Union Zoom will be going on. I'm waiting for Adam to try to join on live during this pod. And then
Look, if Michael Farfan's there this week, I won't do it. But like I had a plan. It just didn't really go the way I thought it was going to go because people mattered were on the pod.
See, they can't hear what's coming through your headphones. It doesn't.
No, that's half the
It's
fun.
not it doesn't work very well in that way.
No, it's cool because it's like then they have to decipher what the conversation is based on just my third of the conversation. Like it's like a choose your own. It's like a what's going on? What could they be discussing? Adam seems animated. There's
Choose your own
levels.
adventure.
Exactly.
And then in more news, Devin, anything on that Discord?
We do got oh boy. Hold on. I gotta
boy.
We
pull it
do
up.
gotta. Come
Gotta
on, it was
mute
on
it
the
up.
notes.
I
You should be
wanna-
ready for this.
I know. I should have been ready for this. I just wanted
literally
to shout
muted
out
it
the
this
winners
morning.
of this week. Oh man, you're the worst kind of person over there. So this week, Miss Morgan Tenza, friend of the pod, guessing the draw correctly, and the loss, and same as Dane Truxell on there. Both guess the Union defeat. So you take that for what it is, and
We're rewarding
you're the only
this.
one.
I don't give them anything, man. You say
We're
the Union's gonna
rewarding
lose, you get
this?
like a bag of poop, man.
They also lost on a fluke. I don't like that.
Yeah, what's with the negativity, man? Jeez.
It's a good thing
No
she's in
Negadelphi's over here.
Connecticut. I'm saying.
Don't make me get this the father of Ben over here, okay?
Oh God.
Yeah, I
Please
know.
don't.
It's like, listen. I think Johnny now is going to get on Morgan's Twitter like he did Olsenio's sister and just blow her up for being negative. So that's,
Well, as long as he
You had to
leaves
know
this-
that was coming eventually, right?
had to
Oh,
be
yeah.
coming. So speaking
Yeah,
of
I was waiting for it.
speaking of Wednesday, Columbus. What do we think? I think we got too much firepower to have no goals to a team like Columbus. But then again, Columbus really doesn't let up any goals. But any thoughts from Johnny? You're the guest. You go first. What was your takeaway from the game on Wednesday? And keep in mind, we don't go super X and O's. It's more raw emotion. How you felt?
You must not
That's
know
just
me. then.
ironic at this point, is it not? Like we're literally just saying that just to say that because we go X and O's literally every goddamn podcast, but it's okay.
My first take is I thought Adam handled the loss pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Better than most. Better than most.
Definitely better than we were watching the Blue Jays doubleheader with the Phils. My man literally walked from the Larimer to the practice field and back because he needed to let loose.
Look, man, the Phillies bullpen does that to a
Looks
person.
better.
Have you? I mean, look, no, now they're fine. Okay, look, they only gave up a run last night as a bullpen. I'll live with that. When you're giving up like 4 runs in a ninth inning on the road, when you're supposed to be sweeping the Blue Jays, anyway. The moral of the story is, I think I took the loss very well because I'm dead inside because of all the other sports in Philadelphia. So nothing else could hurt me.
All right, so look,
You can't throw the Flyers out there like that. Oh, man.
Look,
they haven't looked good in this series. They're in it, but they haven't looked good.
They haven't
De-
looked good. When you get
Devin,
outshot
Devin,
55 to 20.
Devin,
Quarter
Devin. No, Devin, look at me. Matt, I know we went off the rails. We could cut this if we want, but Devin, look at me. You look at me. There is absolutely no reason this team should be in this series in any capacity whatsoever. We don't deserve this. They're going to win. It's going to
That's
be
further
terrible.
down the
It's gonna
notes,
be
Adam.
awful.
Further down the notes.
Oh my! We're gonna get
Stick to
there.
the
I know,
schedule.
but it's just. Sorry. No, he brought me there. He brought me there, and I wanted to tell him. We'll get there. I'm just saying.
All right, so
Devin's
here,
supposed
real
to keep
quick.
us on the rails, and he just
Yeah, he
steers
brought
you
us
right off.
You cut that, Debbie. You don't deserve that fire in me right now. We're gonna deal with that later.
Devin's voice is like the voice on Waze when it takes you down like the wrong way on a one-way street. No, make a right now. No, this is what you do. No, yeah, drive off that cliff.
No. Did you know Waze got an update and now you can have Batman?
No, you can't.
You
Yes.
can make your own voices now.
Now you can make but you can literally have, and I'm pretty sure this is the guy who did Batman, the animated series, doing the voice of Waze as Batman.
All right, because if it's the Lego Batman, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, man, Will Arnett does a solid Batman. All right, he's in the Bat family at this point. Lego Batman is Bat canon to me.
Rerouting.
Don't fight me on that one. You allowed that to happen,
Rerouting.
Devin. Don't you fight me on that one.
So I
want Tom-
think with
I
all
want-
the. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I want Tommy as my voice, and when I get to my location, I want him to say, "Now that's a dupe in the old onion bag." I'll take that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tommy Smith, here to give you a right ton.
Yeah, that'll be right turn. Everything that ends with an R. Right
It's a
turn.
right ton.
You might
You're
get
never
pulled
gonna
over
make
for-
the left of your ton right now.
You might get pulled over for a DUI just listening to Tommy's directions. Right turn, left turn, right turn. Oh,
Yes.
shit. So, needless to
The
say,
best
we're all
part of this
disappointed
entire
about Columbus.
podcast. The best part of this
Yeah.
entire podcast is Waze. That's it. It's gonna be it. That is the high mark. No, but yeah, no. Look, man, you're gonna lose eventually. It's MLS. Like no one's Liverpool. No one's really Liverpool. Even when LA pretends they're Liverpool, they're not. So like, there's enough parity in this league. You know, you're gonna lose a couple of games occasionally. Columbus isn't terrible. Their roster is actually pretty solid for like the first time in a really long time. If that game was in Philadelphia, I don't believe you lose it. You know, and if we also got to account the fact they're playing these 3 games in 8-night kind of shits, and that's a gauntlet. That really is. I mean, especially when you're trying to fly into Columbus, literally just go directly to the stadium, then leave the stadium and get on a charter flight immediately back to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and just being
That's a
in the
thing.
city of Columbus can depress you. I think Jim's got something to say about that later on in the show. So,
Well, we were talking about that on Wednesday too.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, that's a depressing place. I think I'd rather be in like the ghettos of like Central America than Columbus, Ohio.
Jeez, man, that's fair.
I'd
But
rather
here's
hang
the
out with
thing.
Carlos Ruiz in Guatemala, right, than hang out in
Wow.
Columbus.
Jeez, man. So Evan Turner is so upset you're insulting the Ohio State University like this, but no.
Yeah,
No,
Evan Turner's got a lot of opinion that I care about.
Where is he right now? Is he still in Portland? Where did Evan Turner go?
Who knows?
He's still on a
Hopefully tanking
roster. I know
somewhere.
that much.
Oh, he's still on a roster making money, so that's even more sickening. But anyhow, so
look, so
Nunu-
is Jeremy Grant.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Let's talk. Sunday, we got Red Bull. We've got some viewing parties. Kildare's, Westchester, Larimer for sure. I think we'll be out and about. And Red Bull's, I guess, got a new look because apparently Red Bull doesn't just give you wings; it gives you unemployment if you're a coach. So
No checks though.
yeah, they don't give you checks; they give you walking papers. So the new look Red Bull. Who's coaching this team? Is it like the Water Boy or what do we got? What do we got with this coming up?
It's the mascot, right? That Red Bull mascot.
Ben.
I don't
I'm
even know
just
his
assuming
name.
it's Benny the Bull, but that's the one from the Chicago Bulls. But I don't know. Still, I'm gonna hold on to it. It's Benny the Bull.
It's more like
That's
Tony
rough.
the Bull because it's Tony Soprano, North Jersey.
I was gonna say Harrison the Bull. That would have been fun if they did Harrison. No, just me. Okay, on an island. That's fine. I like this island. It's nice.
So
Hey,
how do we
honestly,
feel?
what was the Red Bulls plan this year? Like they didn't replace BWP, my honest opinion. The goalie
No.
they've had has been okay, but he's been no Robles. And what
No.
was their actual plan this year? Like that's what I don't get.
To tank. In
Tank
a
for the
league
future.
that tanking, yeah. I mean, like, I don't even think the draft matters anymore because I mean, I think the union have destroyed the super draft. But literally,
standard.
I think if it was any other sport, I would just assume Red Bull was tanking because
Well,
it's just like
I
they
mean-
did nothing.
I guess because they don't have to worry about attendance money because they never got a good attendance in that stadium, that they're making all their money from subletting other teams to come into their stadiums. So I think they're just thinking about real estate and diversifying their portfolio and not worrying about soccer.
They're gentrifying that area really nicely right now. They got a Five Guys across the street, nice
That
little
is nice.
condos. I mean, I appreciate what Harrison's trying to do. And like to my friends who are Red Bull fans, I'm like, look, I feel bad because just the whole letting NYCFC up in your house like that is just so disorienting. It's just like a gut punch in itself, and it just reminds you of how mom and pop MLS can and will be if given the opportunity. Where it's just, I don't know. Look, we hate Red Bull, obviously. That's it's the modus operandi, But at the same time, it's just, wow, I feel bad for what's going on in North Jersey right now because it is a mess.
They did it to themselves, though. They not only let NYUFU into their stadium, they let them into their home market and let them just dominate that home market. So I don't feel bad for them anymore. Choopy, I love you, dude. You're my man. I love Choopy. He's probably the only person that wears Red Bull anything that I would actually give a hug to during a pandemic. But everybody else, I don't feel bad for you. Just go, go watch reruns of The Sopranos. Get on your flip phones. Wear your jersey tuxedo. Your full velour sweatsuits. I don't really care. Your team's trash, and I'm happy for it.
No, those fans are watching old school Metro Stars film.
I mean, I would too. Those guys had the sickest uniforms. Cough, Atlanta stole your shit.
For anybody that cares, I did a little research here, and their interim head coach is former sporting director of Wolverhampton Wanderers, Kevin Thelwell. Is going to be their interim head coach.
Was he in the system already?
The head of sport. He's currently the head of sport at New York Red Bull.
Interesting.
New Jersey.
The head of like that.
Yeah, New Jersey Red Bull.
So it's like Ernst Tanner would be taking over. I mean, predictions.
Usually it's like an assistant coach. Or
Matt, real quick. Could it be that the Red Bull soccer side of the corporation, could it be that they are just putting the New York side to the side and they're just putting, because obviously you guys are seeing what's going on with Leipzig and Salzburg, they're doing their thing as well. Could it be that they're just saying like, okay, let's just put the New York side on hold. Let's just put our eggs in the basket with Leipzig and Salzburg, and then we'll worry about New York later on.
As you should.
Well, that's still crappy business practices because on the Red Bull beverage side, not like they go, hey, let's stop selling in North America aggressively and worry about Austria. I mean, you should, as a multi-global corporation, be able to multitask. I mean, and because they've got the advantage of those two teams in Austria and Germany, they don't have an assistant coach on the bench that's more qualified than their sporting director to replace somebody? They don't have an academy coach they don't.
I think what they realize is they don't have to spend millions of dollars on New York Red Bull for it to be competitive or to still have the same draw with fans. I think they realize they could just use it as a farming system for their other teams and not really have any real financial backing in it. Like they're not going to go out and buy anybody like they used to, So I think they finally came to terms with that and just realized that going and spending $10 million on a player is not really changing anything about your draw.
So they're the Reading Phillies of the Red Bull organization.
That's
right. They're the Clearwater Threshers.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. No, but here's the beauty of that. Their biggest rival is in the exact same situation they are, because by all accounts, they're the third string on Man City's pecking order. Oh yeah, Melbourne City is a much bigger club than New York City Football Club.
I think New York's above Melbourne.
Melbourne City just played in the grand final for Australia literally last weekend. Now they lost to Sydney, but they are actually a competitive team. The New York thing doesn't even play at a stadium for which they own. Let's be real about this. If Citigroup, a group that was literally about to buy bleeping Lionel Messi, can somehow not find a plot of land in the 5 boroughs to build a stadium, they really don't give that much of a crap about New York City Football Club. That's just the honest to goodness truth.
That's a great point.
But, and all
their uniforms are hand-me-downs from Man City.
Legitimately, but and that's the thing about this. The New York market should be upset that they've got both of their MLS teams to be minor league affiliates of better clubs elsewhere, because they're basically U2 in a lot of ways for a lot of these other clubs. And here's the thing: we were watching the Union play in Columbus while simultaneously U2 was playing in Chester, and not one of us gave a damn. That's literally what they feel about these clubs in New York and New Jersey.
Well, Rusty gave a damn because his boy Paxton scored.
Paxton, man, come on.
So look, I love the players, but it's a farm system. I love the Reading Phillies, but if the Reading Phillies don't win the freaking AA championship, it don't hurt me as long as Spencer Howard gets his reps in, yo.
As a proud Philadelphian, I will say I want the Cosmos back.
Bring the Cosmos. I would love them to bring the Cosmos back. That's the only club in New York that is worth a damn is to bring the Cosmos back.
Adam, let me get this straight though. So you're saying NYU and Red Bull are the Jan Brady of their respective organizations. They're the middle child, unloved.
Alice. They're fucking Alice.
Wow.
They're Alice because all they do is just keep up and like mop shit up for them. They're not even like parts of the family. They're just people there to work for them. They're there to give them Tyler Adams. They're there to give them Jesse Marshes. They're there to just make Aaron Longs and Matt Miazgas, and that's all that's what they're supposed to do. And this is the thing about MLS is the beauty about this whole league is we exist in this medium where we're used to America being the top echelon sports league. So the Sixers got no equals, in terms of like no one is using the Sixers as a farming club. No, like we don't have an Ajax in this country. We're not used to being an Ajax kind of place where, yes, we're going to have the top tier of our division, but these guys are eventually going to get sold to other teams otherwise. No, America's used to being the pinnacle. So that's why it's such a weird kick in the nads when you realize some of the teams that are at the pinnacle of American soccer are minor league affiliates for European clubs. That's craziness because we're used to us being the creme de la creme of athletics, and we are literally knowing America's largest city, biggest media market, 12 million people walk around greater New York on a given freaking day. And they got 2 minor league clubs playing soccer in their city.
That's an embarrassment and disgrace, if you ask me.
And they're not even that good.
I couldn't be happier.
They're not
for that
even
city.
that good.
Couldn't be happier. As a
No,
Philadelphian, couldn't be happier.
But here's the thing: it's terrible for MLS, but that's okay.
Prediction time. Us against the minor league Red Bull. Go. Who wants it first?
It's gonna be embarrassing. I think the Union are just gonna slap them around. And I talked about this on my YouTube channel. I really want to see what Jim does with the player selection. There's a couple, it's even in Orlando. There's a couple times I'm just like wondering like what Jim's thinking with some of these player selections. So like, for an example, Kai Wagner's hurt, right? So we put Mbaizo in instead of Matt Real, and we've really never seen Mbaizo play on the left side. He's always been on the right side. That's one that kind of is scratches my head. And then he puts in Andrew Wooten in for Sergio Santos, and now that gives you 2 forwards who don't really have that much speed. So that's really what I want to see. And then we were talking about it too, Adam. Like, Ali was dead exhausted. Like, he was done once he came off the pitch when he got subbed out for Warren. Like, let's give him some rest. Let's give El Senior some rest. If you don't need them, don't put them out. Use them for the matches. Like the next game is going to be New England. That's going to be a tough match. Use them then. So I think in the situation that Red Bull's in, they just lost their coach. They're already down as it is. I would like to see Fontana if you're asking me, but hey,
Absolutely. That I was literally going to say, Anthony Fontana needs to get some serious minutes in the next two games because look, he is a talented individual. He has an eye for goal. He can put it in the net, and we've seen him do it when in his limited opportunities given. He's a homegrown. They always talk about his talent level. Like, I always believed that the strategy going into this season was after they sold Fabian Marco and they didn't sign anybody as a number 10, I was like, okay, so here's what they're going to do. They're going to make Aronson number 10, try to get him as OP, get his stock up as high as possible, sell the crap out of him mid-season, have Fontana slide into that role as a placeholder, then use the money that they got for Aronson and actually buy someone of merit. That's how I thought that was going to go. And I still believe that's how that's kind of going to go because, look, Montero can be your number 10, but he's not. He's out there at the left. You have him in this diamond situation. Leave him be. Let it be what it is now. But give me some Fontana minutes. I'm not even against the Mbaizo pick because he had a really solid game the game before, and like he brought a speed and a passing element where, yeah, Ray Gaddis obviously has a speed and he has a decent kind of pass, but like Mbaiza was throwing some dimes out there from the right back position. So I'm like, let him, you have a gauntlet going. You got 5 subs. You got game after game after game. Let him run a little bit. I know it might, you have Matt Real, and Matt Real is more than capable of handling the left back position, but I'm just saying, like, Mbaiza's been on that bench for a year now and hasn't got barely any run. This is the most run I've seen him have, period, as a Union player. So I'm like, see what you got. I want DeVries to get some minutes soon. I just want to see what you got. You got to, like, I was telling Matt this when we were at the Laramie. I know I'm going on a rant here and I apologize, but I was telling Matt this at the Laramie. What are we doing exactly here? Like, what's the end game here? Like, what is MLS saying this year is going to equal? You're eliminating the supporter shield because you have nothing close to schedule balance, right? You have everyone playing these regional games. You have only the Canadian teams playing each other right now in a round robin where they still have to go to Vancouver for reasons I don't understand. And it's like, this should be a year that you take to experiment. This should be a year that you take to still be good, still try to compete. Maybe there is an MLS Cup at the end and we try to win that thing. But for now, I'm like, see what you got, treat this as almost an exhibition year. Because it's just like, if you don't win MLS Cup, oh well, we'll move on and get to next year, which will literally start a month and a half after we finish this season. And, we'll do it again.
I agree with that sentiment.
I mean, you've got to showcase what talent we have for people like Mark and Brendan, just because that's money you're messing with. I do agree. I'd like to see, especially in these stretches where these games are tighter and it's still freaking hot and humid, give guys rest. I'd like to see Fontana. I'd like to see DeVries. I'd like to give Ali a blow. I don't think Elsinho has to come on every 66 minutes. Unless they start changing this up a little bit to get him some more room. It's almost getting predictable where he's going to go, and it's not doing him any favors or the team any favors. So I'd like to see some changes, but more importantly, I still want to see a W in Harrison. So I'm hoping it's a 3-0 because I really like to see the faucets open up again. I mean, and I'd love to see, if you're going to rest I'd hate to rest Casper because he's on a tear. But if you're putting Wooten in, I'd rather him be in for Casper than for Sergio because you still need that speed. And can we get Miggy in there at some point? I mean, he's still a burner. I haven't seen him since the pandemic started running up and down the art museum steps. So, but no matter what, it's still, we need a W. Johnny, what do you think? We getting a W on this one?
I completely agree with you. I think that this is an opportunity for the Union to put down a Red Bulls team that is going through a tough time. Back-to-back losses, like you guys said, losing your coach. We don't know if this new coach is going to bring anything to the table for the Red Bull, and I think this is the perfect opportunity for the Union to run up the score. I agree with you, man. I see 3 goals, a clean sheet for Andre again. This might get ugly, and I hope so.
All right, Devin, bring us back to reality. You're always negative. What are we going to lose by 2-1?
The bad thing is that negative is still saying we're going to win here. So it's like, what is really negative here? Because this is not even going to be close. It's going to be 2-3. We're going to win by 2 or 3 goals, and it's not going to be a thing. So
perfect. Now, Devin, I'm going to transition this, and I want you, when I say this, to just focus on Adam's face on the screen when I tee this up. Because right now, I want to ask Johnny, because he is now our resident expert on Serie A, about the Inter Miami.
All right, let's hear it.
Inter Miami is very close to getting Juventus' striker. Tell us about Gonzalo, Johnny. Adam, take a time out. It's fine. This is Serie A, not Serie C, where this isn't Palermo talk.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry. I did not say that.
You know what?
For the record, I did not say that.
You know what? That's fair. We only did it to ourselves. I was going to tell you, there's a video that came out literally on Saturday on a detailed 20-minute YouTube video about what went wrong at Palermo. I'm gonna send it to you so you can have some knowledge on your side about what happens with corruption. But yeah, no, go ahead, Zapata. I'm here for it.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna say. Well, actually, from both players, it's crazy that Beckham got two players from Juve, two big players from Juve. And I know this might have MLS 2.0 smell to it. You're talking about two older players, European stars that are coming over to the MLS. But I think that both Matuidi and Gonzalo Higuain are going to help and take Miami to that next level. Obviously, Miami hasn't gotten off on the right foot in the MLS, right? I think that it took them until the Orlando game and the restart of the first phase to get a point. So I think that Higuain still has a lot. He still has a lot in the tank, and in a league like this, where unfortunately they're not every team's like the Philadelphia Union, right? They don't have good back lines. There's a lot of teams with some terrible back lines. I think Higuain, his ability to make those runs in the box and in the final third, I think he can flourish if you give him a full season. Like I think this year he might give you a couple goals, but if you give him a full season, guys, I really wouldn't put it past him being able to put up 30 goals, especially you're talking about having Rodolfo Pizarro, who's really good as a holding guy and can distribute the ball really well. I think he can flourish in this league. I think that was a good signing for Miami. Putting the number one overall pick as your starting striker in your first season, that's definitely tough. But I think that was a good pickup for Beckham, and he's definitely turning the wheels here. It's not Messi, it's not Ronaldo, but it's solid.
I want to get into that on like a macro level. So we'll do a little exercise here. So if Inter Miami buy Higuain, which by all reports it looks like it's going to happen. It's been being reported for a while now. It's probably going to happen.
It's realistic too.
Where do you think that puts? I'm going off transfer market numbers, so take it with a grain of salt. Where do you think that puts Inter Miami in the ranking of total market value for their teams if they buy Higuain?
In the MLS, you're saying?
Yes, in the MLS. Yeah.
Top 10, no?
Top 10. Matt, what do you got?
I'm just trying to go. Where are you putting this with Atlanta currently?
It's current numbers. Okay. That are on the board right now.
I'm gonna say right now they're not even top 15 because they really haven't done that much.
Okay. So here's their current market value. If they buy Higuain, they will be the second highest market value in MLS in their first year. That'll put them at 64 million, according to the most recent transfer market numbers. With it's only 4 behind LAFC, 4 million behind LAFC. So like they came in their first season, and you're already on the top 3 of market values in the league. They're currently in third, so it's not like they're going to be passing. They pass Atlanta if they get it
really
in their first.
This is why Beckham waited, and this is why. Like, here's the thing. I say this to anyone who is dumb enough to be in my ear space to talk when I talk soccer. There's 3 places in America these people want to come to. All these people who are coming from abroad, from either from South America, from Europe, from Africa, from wherever, there's 3 places in America they actually want to go. New York, Los Angeles, Miami. That's it.
You can take New York out of that, right?
And for the most part, you really can, though. But, like, you really can, though.
Exactly.
So it's literally LA and Miami.
When you take that out, the other thing that I want to, and it's not this year, it's not next year, but don't sleep on Chicago. Now that they're going to be downtown, Chicago could be a destination if this new owner does what he should do, because it's a great city, great market.
For
Here's
who,
your
though?
top
Right now,
6
you're right.
MLS clubs right now. Your top 6 market value for MLS. We got LA, Atlanta, Miami, New York, Toronto, LA. It's all those towns you're talking about, and that's where all these stars
LAFC's
are going to go.
number one.
They're going to constantly be up there. LA number 1.
Yeah, and they're
LAFC
over
or
Galaxy.
LAFC number 1, of course.
And they're over Galaxy already, though. That's what I am saying. This is what I'm saying. No one wants to go to bleeping Carson. This is why I'm saying. Look,
The Chargers do.
Look, no, they don't. Like, here's the realness. And this is why I'm saying this is why the Union go through their academy. This is why they work through it. Philadelphia by itself, compared to a lot of these other cities, is a hard sell. Chester makes it a slightly harder sell. So when you're trying to build a franchise, sometimes you actually have to homegrown it because you're not going to get the top talent to just drop their bags from the Capri Coast and say, I'm moving to the Delaware Valley. And here's the thing, that's not an indictment on us as a beautiful city. It's just saying there are other places on the planet that are aesthetically more pleasing than what we got going here, and I'm sorry. And here's the honest to goodness truth about it. The Miami is going to be a top team in this league in the next 3 years. Only on the sheer fact they're just going to get an onslaught of people who want to be in that club, who want to be around the Beckham aura. When they finally actually moved to the city of Miami, you're going to have a fanfare that Miami FC and all the other ones only could dream about. And look, and I was going to talk to Zapata about this later in the pod. I hate the pandering that we always do to the Latino community, just assuming they're just going to get behind soccer just because they're Latino. You know, I hate that so much because it's just like a funny thing where, oh man, it's Miami. They'll love it. What do you mean? There's like 45 people who speak Spanish down there. Like that's it. They're gonna love it. No. But authentically, though, Miami is a place that would truly enjoy that. If you've seen them during the World Baseball Classic, they don't hate baseball, they hate the Marlins, you know? It's not that they hate the game of baseball. They absolutely hate the team that represents them playing baseball.
Couldn't even sell a World Series game out.
That's what I'm saying. They don't hate the Dolphins. They don't hate football. They hate the Dolphins. It's legitimately something for which that could work for forever. And that's what was so scary to me when that bid finally went through. I'm like, we've just created a monster in South Florida. An absolute monster.
I'm gonna blow a hole in Adam's theory. I'm circling my hole now. Because he just mentioned it, where he said, oh, Miami's going to be such a draw. It's going to be such a draw. Players want to live there. 2 words, Miami Dolphins.
All right, so here's the thing, though. Miami Dolphins, up until like the 1990s, was still one of the best names in football, one of the best brands in football. That's a realness about that. Their organization, similar to the New York, they're like the Knicks.
30 years ago?
That's true, but like so are the Knicks, man. Like the New York Knicks should be one of the biggest brands in basketball, and solely because of their ownership group, they are not.
But at one
There's
point,
no reason.
But at one point, the Dolphins, and even you could put the Hurricanes in that too. The Hurricanes and the Dolphins ran that city.
And
Well,
here's
the Hurricanes were a more
had
professional team than the Dolphins. So I mean, Devin,
no, they were doing more coke
gotta,
than the Dolphins.
Gotta grab the reins on this, man. Come on.
My last point against the Dolphins is, though, Tom Brady was also in their division for the last 20 years. What the hell did you want them to do exactly?
Yeah, but they haven't had a quarterback since Marino.
Do what the Eagles
That's
did.
also
Beat his
that,
ass.
too.
Also that.
41-33, baby. Yes.
We're 1-1 technically. We have a 500 record in that scenario. Anyway, continue.
I will
All right,
say
let's finish up some. Go ahead. Yeah, let me.
No, I will say that I do think, yes, they are going to attract some big names. But I even heard that, they are building a youth academy. And there is talent in South Florida. With all, like, the immigrant South American kids. I think that, don't sleep on that either.
It was the same thing.
That's
real quick.
the
That's the same thing
future of almost-
Toronto has. That's what Toronto has, because Toronto is the hub of all those Caribbean kids who are not in the Caribbean anymore. It has the largest Jamaican population outside Jamaica is in suburban Toronto. And I'm saying all of these major cities, like that's why they are going to be great for a long period of time, because they're just going to keep making products, which is why the union knew they got to capitalize on us with South Jersey and Delaware and South PA making great talents like the Mackenzies, like the Aronsons. We're going to make more of those. But we're not going to attract necessarily the stars with that. And the problem is they can do that.
But why can't we just be like Atlanta, though? Like, look.
Art blank.
Okay, but Miguel.
Yeah, we didn't start Home
That's a
Depot.
very loaded question.
Yeah,
there.
Art blank. Yeah, we're talking about ownership issues. Art blank is the biggest reason why. Because look, man, and that's the problem. Because when Sugarman came into the league, you didn't have to be that rich to be in MLS. And now to come into the league, you have to be that rich. But the flip side of that is you have the resources to now spend. And that's the thing that's crazy.
I want to build through the youth academy. and then I also want to get those young, hungry players in South America, Central America, and we've seen Ernst do a solid job of finding those guys who fell under the rug in Europe too. So that's what I want to
Yeah.
continue seeing. But I want to see them become superstars in this league, and then eventually Europe.
For us to ever attract a big name player, this team has to win. And they have never won. So they're going to have to build through the academy. They're going to have to get some of those gems the way Ernst has. And then if there's a trophy or two, or if they're constantly in that talk of being a team on the LA level, the Atlanta level, then it's an easier sell for, say, a Kevin Durant to go overseas and woo, wine and dine a European player to come over. But for 11 years, this team has not been very good. We've been in the playoffs 3 times. 1 playoff win, so they've got to do better. This is basically like if we were Bournemouth. No one's coming to Bournemouth. It's a nice little city by the sea. They got to build through the academy because no one's coming to Bournemouth. Gets Champions League. Oh yeah, people would want to go then. I mean, that's the difference. A lot of players. It's not just a pretty locale like Miami. It's like, hey, I don't want to go somewhere and suck and get my. Hence, the greatest player in modern soccer right now wants to leave his team because they didn't win a trophy this year. They've always won a trophy. 1 year they don't win a trophy, he's already out of there. So the team's got to put it on the field and keep make some noise.
I also think there's something to be said about Messi just wanting a change of scenery since he's literally been in Catalonia for his entire existence on the planet. Like legitimately since he was like a small teenager to now he's just been in Catalonia. So there's something about he's trying to study abroad.
I don't know. City
no, it's not.
City to have money in.
Look, man,
come on.
You can grow you can be the richest dude in man, you can be the richest dude in what were we saying? Tokyo. What's a great city to be rich in? London.
Barcelona's a great city to be rich in.
Also true, but I'm saying there's also maybe you want to go to Cannes. Maybe you want to play for Monaco. Maybe you want to experience the Riviera. Maybe you want to play for Palermo. You're not going to play for Palermo. But
Barcelona
what I'm saying
is the Miami of Spain. So, everyone wants to go there.
And I get that, but here's the thing. What I'm saying is, and what I think is really important about this is, the Union ceiling, in my eyes, is Ajax. That's your pinnacle is Ajax, because you will be a team that wins your league, competes, gets to Champions League, competes with others, but you're forever flipping people. You're forever flippers.
Oh.
You're forever flipping to bigger clubs. That's the dream scenario for the Union.
I think that's
but not all. But that's not Miami's ambition. That's not Miami's ambition. That's not the New York club's ambitions. That's not Toronto or LA's or either LA club's ambitions, because they actually believe that they can attract high-level talent like the Pavons, like these Christian, like the Chicharitos, like all of these guys that come in and make differences into their club, where LA Galaxy can get a Zlatan. Zlatan's not coming to Chester. That's not happening like that. That ego is not going to Chester, So it's like your pinnacle, which still means we get trophies, or still means as we as fans are dope as dope and happy and proud and screaming and excited as hell. But the pinnacle of the Union is Ajax.
All right. Well, as we're on the subject of speaking of great cities, Devin, we need music for this, but yeah, I got on the Zoom. Did you hear Jim's quote from after the Columbus loss? Devin, is that a no? Devin's just staring at me. It's weird.
I'm not sure about this one.
You didn't invent this one, Devin?
Listen, Jim wasn't happy, but Joe Tanzi asked Jim about how the loss in Columbus feels. And I think Jim was feeling a little spicy because he goes, and I quote, "First off, nice cargo shorts, Tansy. Throw on a pair of crispy white New Balances and you can be my dad." So, wow, he comes after Tansy quick, but then he goes, about losing in Columbus. Not sure what's worse, the loss or actually being in Columbus. I mean, this city sucks. Does the Buckeye flower actually smell like poop? We can't wait to get out of here. Hey, Jay, fire up the plane. Fire up the plane now. End quote. So Jim wasn't happy about the loss or being in Columbus.
I must say,
Devin?
Brett Brown should take a note out of Jim. He might have kept his job.
I think so. And he's giving fashion advice now, too. Jim, after a loss, is an angry man.
To peel behind the curtain for only a second. Just focusing on Devin's face.
I'm going to have to start.
Is just the best part of that entire thing. It's just focusing on Devin, just having the face of just like, oh my God, no way.
What did I
like, oh God.
I'm going to have to start getting like a little like fine print read. Like after he says the quote, we read this like fine print really quick just to make sure we cover all our bases here.
We're totally going to get picked up by MLSsoccer.net, gov.
MLS
it's
Soccer,
going to be a
soccer.
problem. MLS Soccer, .net, comdov. /education.
And listen, speaking of bad behavior, apparently RSL is going to sell because they were run like a boys club. Here's my question, and you know, Adam, I'll let you take this. Do you think somewhere Daniel Snyder's like, hold my beer, Real Salt Lake, hold my beer?
Okay. I don't believe Daniel Snyder is a racist. I believe he's an idiot.
Yes.
I believe he's a stubborn idiot. And I believe that he also bred a culture that led to, allegedly, a very sexist, very unwelcoming environment for not only women, but just everyone involved. So, like, when we throw around terms like racist and all of this, I'm always kind of, like, hesitant about this. But I will say this.
I didn't say racist. They said it was a boys club.
No.
Like it was a sexist, misogynist organization.
Boys club. But here's also the caveat I'm throwing at my boy for Real Salt Lake here with the boycotts and all this. If you were that vocal about that as a manager, I know you probably don't care that much about me as a person. And that's another level of it where it's weird about it. This is the Donald Sterling thing again, where it's just like, look, what he said inherently wasn't that egregious. You know, it's something where I don't think you should technically lose your team for it. I don't know if that's how we should do these things. However, I will recognize that I now know your thought process in a lot of ways, you know, because it's so easy in 2020 to just say the company line. Like, I know half of these companies don't even really care about BLM, but they're just saying it just to make sure they don't get attacked by an organization. So it's okay. Like, I get that. It's pandering at its finest. I understand that. But when you do the opposite of pandering, then I know how much you're feeling that shit. You know, I know how much you're really, like, in the opposite direction if you're there with that.
I agree with you on one level with that. Like, he shouldn't have to sell his team based on the radio station things that happened. But if anything from that Athletic article was true, and I know MLS is doing their, you know, investigation.
You should sell his team on that.
But if what he's
yes,
you
should sell his team on that.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, you know, no.
Just make sure
sorry about that. No, I'm sorry if I didn't caveat that. Yeah, on that level, literally them just talking about how Real Monarchs and all that became a toxic environment of awfulness. He should sell his team on that principle alone. But the original reason why we're talking about him in the first place was the against of the protests and all that, and I'm like, look, that's something where I don't necessarily think you should lose your team over, but at the same time, I'm like, I now know who you are, and then you come out with the rest of this, and I'm just like, look, all of these ownership groups could probably say the same thing at the end of the day. Sports has been a misogynistic safe haven from the beginning. You know, it literally has been up until literally like 4 years ago when we actually started to give a damn about women in sports, apparently. And this is just in America. You go anywhere else on the globe, and it's still as bad, if not worse, in a lot of these places. So it's just like we, as a literal human society, have a lot of growing up to do with this subject. And I hope these multi-millionaires who've been getting away with so much in their life are finally knocked down a couple of pegs when they realize they can't just be awful to an entire demographic of the population. It's a crazy concept, I know. But the moral of
Well,
the
you can't
story
hide
is
anymore. Everything gets out between
that.
social media, the information age. You can't keep secrets. In the '60s, you could slap your secretary's ass because nobody's going to know about it. But now you can't do it because she's going to TikTok about it. So it's
And she should TikTok about
she
it.
should without a doubt.
And she
But
should let
I'm just,
everyone know that you're an asshole. That should be the situation.
Yeah.
And that's what we're getting to with this is. And here's the thing. You have a women's team. I don't even have a women's team in Philadelphia.
That's
They got a
crazy.
women's team out there, and this owner is going to be this kind of an individual whilst also owning a female athletic club. Yeah, no, you gotta go,
Hey,
Sparky.
in our backyard, we had the only women's team that we're close to, Sky Blue, was treated like third-class citizens by the governor of New Jersey and the guy that owns Bed Bath and Beyond. So I mean, it's in our backyard too. Those two clowns shouldn't own this team anymore.
It's I, as everyone knows, I've always been the hugest advocate for women's athletics. You know, it's one of these things where I truly feel passionate about it, and I think that in so many ways, major sports leagues looking over America's fourth largest media market for not putting women's teams in this city. When we create some of the best women athletes known to man, not even just to America, but to like the globe. Like we be making the Carly Lloyds, we be making the Dawn Staleys, we be making the people who are literally juggernauts and perfectionists of their fields, world champions. And we can't even get neither a WNBA team, which would make so much sense because we have Big Five women's basketball. Like that's not a huge thing, you know? Three of the top four women's basketball coaches are from Philadelphia or the Philadelphia region, and we still don't have a women's basketball team? I digress. Moral of the story is we have to be doing better by our women and allowing individuals like this to own teams that are women is a problem, and we are and have very simple fixes.
I mean, I completely agree with what you're saying. I mean, I come from it from both sides. For one, I'm a pro sports guy. Like you guys know, I'm not big in college sports. I've been dying to have an NWSL team and a WNBA team here in Philadelphia. I would genuinely watch. Like I would. Like during the winter, I'd be like, okay, when do the Sixers play? When does the Philadelphia women's team play? During the summer, I'd be like, when do the Union play? When does our WSL team play? I would genuinely have an affection for both those teams. And then I also come from it where, Devin's got the jersey on right now. In Colombia, we treat our women's players like absolute dog crap. Like, think about this. Just think about this, guys. Copa Libertadores finals. There's a small team in Colombia wins it. And I believe it was in Argentina. They have to fly back, and then they miss their flight. They have to wait overnight. The team, the federation was like, we're not paying for your hotel, though. These ladies just won the Copa Libertadores, which you guys know is a huge trophy, whether it be women's or men's, and they have to sleep in an airport? Like, that's an absolute slap in the face. Then they get back. The money they make from Copa Libertadores finals goes to the men's team that's in debt. So this is what I'm saying. Like this is stuff that needs to absolutely change. And please, Philly, bring us NWSL. You have a fan base. Bring us WNBA. You have a fan base. So I completely agree with what you're saying, guys.
Just look at Josh Harris. Be like, bro, you have 7 teams. You got to, and you're also running all of them into the ground. The Devils are absolutely atrocious at hockey.
Terrible, downfall.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Crystal Palace is barely mid-table. No, but here's what I'm saying. Like, I'll run the WNBA team for you, man. I will be your GM, and we will win titles. I swear to God. I'll go against Bill Lambier.
Just don't panic
I'll go
like
up
Elton Brand,
against
Adam.
it. No, man. I will sign the best. I'll get Alana Deladon home. I'll get Natasha Cloud home. I'll bring all of our ladies back to Philadelphia, and we will run the league. But what's really important about this is, and what Zaps told was 100% true. I love the women's national team in America, and I love the fact that they're a juggernaut. But anyone who is in the know truly understands the reason why the women's national team is such a juggernaut is because so many of these nations do not give a crap about their women's national team.
That's true.
If they did, we would not be this dominant of a force. were we really good, we'd be still up there because America is still a powerhouse in athletics regardless. But authentically, if you had Italy giving half the crap about their FA women's team as they do their men's team, who the women still made the semifinals or the quarterfinals of the World Cup, but the Italian FA doesn't give a damn. You know, it's like if any of the like, this is the reason why Thailand can be one of the best teams in Asia and still lose like 7-0 to America casually, because it's just that big of a gap at the moment between them actually giving a crap about women's athletics. And if they did, there'd be a lot of an equalizing playing, which is good for the sport. But ultimately, like, it would be very humbling for Americans, but it would be good for the sport, you know?
We'll put a positive bow tie on this one.
Please.
2 things real quick. One, the FAWSL over in England, what they're doing and going out and spending money and actually putting a positive, what's the word I'm looking for? They're actually going out and investing in their teams out there, and that is going to force NWSL, which is you would say is currently the best league in the world right now in a women's game. Okay. I'd say it's
I would say with
arguably the best
I would say
in
with the women.
women's
I would
game
say
right now.
English, the English league, like the actual.
But
Yeah.
now, yes, so they're going to go out, they're going to buy players, they have amazing facilities over there. It's just going to force the women's game to grow elsewhere. Second thing on this, I know we talked about other national teams, but Brazil this week,
I was going to say that too.
they came out and started to, they're paying their women's team and men's team equally. They announced it this
Dude, that
past
is
week, so
wild
shout
because
out to
we
them.
know how good Brazil is, and for them to do equal pay,
Yep.
that is crazy.
Exactly.
The United States
The
has
Brazil men's
nothing
team
to
is
say now.
massive. Like we're fighting for it in the U.S.
Where we have
And
money.
exactly.
The United States has
Exactly.
absolutely nothing to say now. Absolutely zero to say now if Brazil's doing that crap. Because that is monumental. And Brazil's women are not as good as Brazil's men. There is not that disparity. You know, Brazil's women are fantastic, but Brazil's men, come on. But there is a drastic disparity between men's soccer and women's soccer in this country. And if Brazil's going to do that stuff, oh man, come on. I love this because the United States is forced to look at themselves, to look at the mirror and say, we got to actually do right by these people who give us titles.
I agree.
In other news, Ernie Stewart probably broke his mirror.
He's so mad right now. He's so mad right now. He has to do so much shit he don't want to do right now. He's so mad.
He's trying to implement the
He's looking at
4-2-3-1
a bunch
and they
of
can't do
kids.
it.
And he's
Yeah,
still going to have to
let's-
play Michael Bradley because they got no one in midfield because we're so bad.
Let's just keep this real quick on for the other news. A little bit more of the misogynistic news. Devin's favorite player in the world, Neymar, and two teammates tested positive for the COVID. Devin, do you know how
I'm
they?
pretty sure
Do you know how they tested positive?
First of all, I'm pretty sure it's actually 4 teammates, or 4 on top of Neymar. But,
I had 2 because him and 2 teammates were in Ibiza on a yacht.
Oh my god.
So
honestly, are you surprised?
He
Like,
loves
not
to
in a bad
party.
way. I mean, they've been stuck doing their thing. You know, I don't
Everyone
know
was
if I
doing
you,
it.
really-
you lost to
Everyone
Munich.
Yeah,
You don't get
they're
to
not
party
the
on a
only
yacht.
ones.
No,
they were not the
yes
only
you
ones
do. You made the
vacationing.
Champions League final.
They
You're
were
allowed to
not.
party.
Well-
You don't party as hard, but you're allowed to relax. Is my
Maybe
answer
stay
to
on the
that.
yacht. Don't
Well-
go off into the foam parties in Ibiza.
Is he married?
No, he's
Not
not, married.
anymore.
No, he's not married.
Okay,
Well,
never mind. You telling Neymar to do something like get away from
well,
me.
Adam,
Go
Adam
away.
and Matt.
Go
So
away.
I know you guys are big Chelsea fans, and Matt, you didn't bring this up, but Diego Costa also tested positive for the COVID.
I still love Diego Costa. I'm still mad at Jose
he's not
Mourinho.
Chelsea's problem anymore.
That's not
so-
no. I'm mad at Jose Mourinho for getting our most prolific striker since Didier Drogba out of town, but that's fine. I now have 77-year-old Olivier Giroud hitting his things with his meaty ass forehead, but that's okay.
Hey, in Chelsea news, we did get a Kai.
I know.
That's
We
official.
did.
So-
Oh my
Kill
God, we
it.
did. Oh my God, did you see?
Listen.
Did you see the list, Devin? Did you see the list? Did you see what we got? Did you see what we got in the transfer market, Devin?
How does Chelsea compare to Inter Miami? Where are we at on that scale of yours? Where's that at? Is Inter Miami over Tottenham? Because I think they are, but not over Chelsea.
We're gonna win everything.
Listen.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win everything.
Devin,
We're just winning
who
everything.
do you support as far as the Premier League goes?
Tottenham.
The
Tottenham Hotspur.
We're gonna win everything. Oh my God, we're gonna win everything.
Well, listen, wait, hold on. I just realized this just now. Matt didn't put this in the running order, and I forgot to put it in there. Nobody's gonna talk about the documentary.
I have to watch
Come
it. Did
on.
we watch it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
I gotta watch it.
Why?
They're usually good too.
I love the advertisement they've done with the documentary. They just put it literally billboards in front of all this Premier League stadiums.
Jose's
being
like watching Sky or listening to Sky Sports.
Listen, yeah.
That was
Just
the clip I did
watch
see.
this-
I
watch
saw
this-
that clip. The one clip everyone
Watch
saw.
this documentary and then tell me that Jose Mourinho did not come to Tottenham just because of the documentary.
Okay.
It
came for
blows
a
me away.
paycheck.
He came for the purple. He came for the
I don't know, I
purple
think he
jacket.
saw
Devin,
them
did you watch it?
Oh yeah, so the first 3 episodes came out last week, and then 3 more come out next
Okay,
week. and 3
so
more the week after
I'm
that,
assuming
but-
you're an Eagles fan, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so which one was better, Spurs or Eagles?
See,
Because I wasn't a huge Eagles fan. I mean, maybe because the season was so.
no, I have more of like an emotional connection, I think, to Spurs. Well, I still have an emotional connection to Eagles, but like seeing the actual like following this team minute by minute throughout the season, and then seeing the actual behind the scenes of it is pretty cool. And like you say what you want about Jose Mourinho, I was not a Jose Mourinho supporter by any means. But I'm also not a hater. I was still on the edge. Watching this documentary has I've actually come to like Jose Mourinho.
Nice.
It's just something I
That's
did not
good.
think I'd be saying.
That's going to be
He
Inter
actually came
Miami's new
across
coach after this
pretty
season.
nicely,
shit.
so.
They call me Jose.
Hey, give Diego Alonso a chance. He's not bad.
I'm sorry. Jose. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly. I was gonna wait for you to be like your own manager. Could you enunciate his first name correctly? But that's fine. No, it's
All right,
Jose and the Pussycats, if you will.
Exactly.
Jose and
All
the
right,
Pussycats.
well, wait. If we're gonna finish off the MLS news, we're not gonna talk about Beatty.
Ah.
I know
That's so fun.
I know that's not official yet, but that's some spicy stuff right there.
On this episode of Let's Flip This Player.
It's not official, and I actually feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to go to the Middle fucking East?
Nah,
No. Like to play?
Marco
Like,
Fabian.
hey, he's back.
he didn't want to
He's
go.
in
He
Mexico
had to
now.
go.
Yeah. No, he came back immediately.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
Yeah, sounds awful.
I almost and I can't feel bad for Atlanta fans because I've said it all this time. Portland, Seattle fans think that they invented soccer, the sport, and then Atlanta fans swear that they invented supporter culture in the United States. So for them to get shit on, I'm like, good. You need to.
But they're not getting shit on though. They're not. They just brought this guy in. They paid a ton of money for him. He didn't play good at all, and they sold him for a profit.
They made money,
Yeah, they
bro.
made
They
more.
made $3 million on this
That's
thing.
crazy.
Like they literally,
Okay.
and then they flipped this house.
Do they need the extra money? What are they going to do with that? Like, I can't find
I
lumber
don't know.
to
Art
they're
Blank
selling
might-
so much crap.
He's
So-
gonna Scrooge McDuck it in his giant freaking
Yes.
vault somewhere outside of Atlanta. What do you
So
mean?
the word out of Atlanta is that obviously the Pitti stuff, but then also apparently Sevilla and Spain are looking at Ezequiel Barco. So, I mean, Atlanta's not looking bad right now, and they just brought in some good young players who, I mean, we know
Yeah.
like they can scout out some good Latinos that are young.
Let's
Yeah.
flip this house. Atlanta.
I mean,
and that's a good one.
That means this year they're like, hey, this year's done. We're not doing anything,
They're
and
trusting
we're going to
the
see what we can
process.
do next year. Yeah, they're in the process. But all right, I know we're getting up to it, Devin, so we'll fly through the rest of this. Hey, Adam,
What's up?
Johnny,
What's up?
Flyers.
Yeah,
Game 7 action, baby.
We do
We
not
got
deserve
some
to be
games.
here, but yes.
We don't. And I love my Flyers to death. We have no business being here. But God bless a small child, a baby fawn, a man who I just want to hold to my bosom and stroke his long hair and now his budding little facial hair and tell him it's going to be okay. Carter Hart. What? We don't deserve you as a man, as a person, as a specimen of goalying because that offense is so bad. That power play is
embarrassing.
so bad. And here's the thing. They scored 5 goals last night, and I feel like they scored 2.
Yeah.
Did they score 5 goals on like 12 shots? Because I'm looking. It was like
wait.
55
Well,
to
yeah.
18 or
No,
something in the third period.
No.
Like,
You're not even bleeping lying. I
like
believe at
21
one
shots.
point there was 3 goals on 13 shots.
Yeah.
Like, the goalie of the Islanders actually might be garbage, and we
Oh, he's
don't know because
terrible.
we can't get pucks on net.
Ormov is terrible.
if
all
we-
I know is if I'm
we got-
Pico, I'm taking away the power play. I'm like,
they don't
I'm
get it
not
anymore.
sponsoring this shit anymore.
This is the weirdest thing in the universe. It's like when the Sixers couldn't rebound against the Celtics for some
why
reason.
you gotta
It
bring
was
that
it
up,
was that same. Look, man, we're gonna bring it up eventually, so I'm gonna
And-
get it.
and
I'm gonna nip
speaking
it at
of-
the head.
Speaking of Sixers,
Hold on, wait.
JoJo-
Don't blow back the Flyers real quick.
Well, let's finish.
real
Let's
quick.
finish the Flyers.
Shout-
Let's finish the Flyers.
Well, you got Oscar Lindbaum
great.
Love it.
coming back for his first game.
Love it.
Amazing story. If anybody hasn't heard
He's
of it,
an
I'm sure you
angel.
heard of it now. If you're anywhere near Philadelphia, 9 months ago, got diagnosed with bone cancer, comes back and plays in his first game 9 months later. Like, that is absolutely insane.
Kudos to him.
After doing
Oh, and
full
one other thing
after being
for-
done chemo 2 months ago.
For players that are representing the city well, I don't know if you saw it, but the Men in Blazers do that little Men in Blazers on Ice or something. They interviewed Hayes, and it was such a great behind the scenes. I think you have to go on their website to find it, but look for it just as a Flyers fan. You'll love that guy even more afterwards. So it was it's probably 2 minutes of a video.
So,
Watch it.
according to my sources, I heard Kevin Hayes is coming on Sons of Ben podcast soon too.
That's
Don't you fight
we're,
me.
we're working on it. We're trying to
We'll
spring
see
him
you
from
on the other
Canada.
side. Yeah, he's a little busy at the
A
moment.
little bit.
But no.
Yeah, so game 7, boys. We're all excited. That's good news.
Adam,
and,
only Andre Blake saves more than Carter Hart. Just remember that.
yep.
Only Jesus saves. Look, man, I even think Andre Blake should talk to Carter about some stuff. There might be some
they should have a
rebound
support
control.
group.
Look, man, oh my God. My defensive players, I just want JoJo, and I want Carter Hart, and I want all of Andre Blake and all my guys who are just strictly defensive guys. Like, guys, I'm sorry you're so good. At, like, Ben Simmons, I just want to set them all down. Like, I'm sorry you're so good, and you're just getting hung out to dry. I'm so sorry.
And
I'm
Adam,
so
speaking
sorry.
of JoJo, he's still got some love in his heart for your boy Jimmy Butler.
Look. All right, no.
I thought you weren't going to talk about it.
Okay, here we go. All right. I know I've had like 4 rants already. Just give me
Listeners, get another
just give me
beer.
2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. I just need 2 minutes.
Devin, you got 2 minutes, or he's got 30 seconds on this one.
Just give me 2 minutes.
I'll let the man
Just
have
give
his
me
2
2 minutes. I just need 2 minutes. I just need fucking 2 minutes. Oh my God, I just need 2 minutes. This team hurt me. I actually kind of want to cry right now. This team hurt me that bad. I believed everything in the process. I was there when they told me they traded Drew Holiday for a sack of beans and a freaking draft pick.
Hey, we got
I was
Rookie of the
there
Year, man.
when they. I was there when I had to pretend Michael Carter Williams was kind of good at basketball. I was
Rookie of the Year.
there. I was there when they drafted Evan freaking Turner. I was there.
Portland
when they
Player of the Week.
I was there when they gave me Nerlens Noel. I was there when they gave me Jahlil Okafor.
Cha-cha.
And you know what? It kind of worked. We got 2 really transformational players. We got a couple shooters around them. And you know what? We won 50 games in consecutive seasons. We had the best home record in basketball. I saw beautiful things in front of my face. And you know what they did? They signed Al Horford for $100 million. They signed Tobias Harris for $33 million a year. They let J.J. Redick walk. They didn't even offer Jimmy Butler a real contract. And you know why?
That's the one that gets me.
Because they believed so much in the disciple of Greg Popovich that they would allow him and the Colangelos and even Adam Bleeping Silver to run Sam Hinkie out of this bleeping town and ruin possibly one of the greatest things that could have ever happened, revolutionized how we thought about free agency, the draft, and everything, and they made us delightfully mediocre, and I got Jason Tatum and Jimmy Butler keeping me up at night.
We can make a whole podcast episode out of this.
Oh, we've built this podcast on Adam's hatred for the Sixers' missteps. So, Adam, take a deep breath. That was good. Just remember, Oscar loves you, Union Hulk loves you, JoJo loves you too.
Everyone in
It's
Chester
okay.
loves you, man.
Yeah. Well,
and also we didn't have
Devin,
Ben Simmons, so whatever. We should have actually lost that
Devin,
series anyway.
we're good to slowly wrap this up. We didn't miss
Wrap
any
it up.
points. We covered everything in about this 4-hour podcast.
Oh yeah.
Devin's like, oh my lord, Johnny. Thank you so much for coming
thank
on.
you,
Let
guys.
everybody know where they can find
Yes,
you.
sir.
I know it's Duke by the River.
Yes, sir.
And then it's give us the Instagram, give
Yeah.
us the TikTok, give us the YouTube. They're must watches. I mean, my man can dance.
I
It's
appreciate it. Thank
it's
you.
impressive.
No, thank you so much, guys, for having me on. It's truly an honor to come on Sons of Ben. You guys truly have been killing it in your first year. You guys are more than Rookie of the Year. I don't even know what to call you guys. But definitely, guys, give me a follow. Appreciate all the support. You can find me on Twitter at Parcero Philly, Instagram at L_Parcero_Philly, YouTube El Parcero Philly, and TikTok the same thing, El Parcero Philly. Guys, check it out. Everything 5 for 5, especially the Philadelphia Union. We are a 5 for 5 city. Do not forget. Sorry, Adam. We are a 9 for 9 city. So sorry, yes, Fusion. So thank you again, guys, and go Union. Let's beat the Red Bulls, and don't drink that terrible energy drink. Drink coffee.
Exactly. And guys, next week, special guest, the Academy founder and owner of the Philadelphia Union. We've got Mr. Richie Graham coming on to talk all things Union next week. So that's a rest up over Labor Day. It's going to be a big
It's
one.
gonna tough to follow up.
All right. Yeah, everyone, guys, thanks a lot, and happy Labor Day weekend, and wash your hands.
Dude, baby.
Sexy season.